So
Welcome
good to see
to
you.
Boss.
I'm so happy to be here, and it's great to see you.
I'm so excited. I feel like Boss is now my excuse to like catch up with every one of my favorite people and bosses from my entire 20 plus year career. Anyone who has not seen Boss, you should be watching. Boss is my new weekly LinkedIn video content series where I interview my amazing executive network to help others learn, network, and pay it forward as we all navigate this crazy new normal that is 2020. Chris Ficarra, one of my former bosses. I know that you've seen episodes of McIntyre. I know a lot of people have seen, because I've seen the numbers. Mark McIntyre's boss episode did really, really well.
No surprise there, and I was like, when am I going to be on? I'm getting a little jealous here. I'm a marketer with a passion for storytelling, branded content, and innovation, and I have experience working in sports, music, comedy, kids, family, general entertainment, across a broad portfolio of clients from iconic brands to upstart DTC companies.
Yes. And we both worked together at 1515 Broadway back in the day.
Well, actually, I'm going to take us back a little further in time. When we first started working together, you were at 1633.
I was hired by Jay Scher, who was friends with Brian Graydon, who ran MTV at the time. And I mean, my interview was crazy. I walked in and he's like, so I got a bunch of phone calls this morning. You have the job. I'm like, I'm sorry, what's the job?
Saw you make this announcement. I was so excited to see it because right now, more than ever, the fact that we're disconnected, the fact that we have people that are experiencing job loss, the fact that people are moving in their careers into different areas, this sort of knowledge, empowerment, and education that people can tap into is great.
Tell me, how did you get to where you are now?
So I don't even think you know this, but when I graduated college, I wanted to be a park ranger. I did not have designs to be in the media industry. I was a psychology major. I didn't really know what I wanted to do. And I got an interview working at an ad agency, and I love television and entertainment. So I said, well, this is at least in an area that I'm interested in. And I got a job at an ad agency, and I was working in a research group. And one day I got a call from a recruiter that said, hey, we have a job in marketing at the NBA. Would you be interested in working in sports? And I got the job, luckily. And that's where really my passion for marketing and working with brands to tell stories and sell product and meet their business objectives really came to life. I had some great leadership there. My boss at the time left shortly after because it was the dot-com boom, but I then started working for a gentleman named Mark Tatum, who is now the deputy commissioner of the NBA. He is one of the smartest people I've ever met, one of the kindest people I've ever met, and he really grew this desire in me to work with brands and to be able to really further our businesses together. And that's really where it all started. And from there, I had some great mentors and leaders. I've always had a mentor. I've always been a mentor. I think it's hugely important. But really at the NBA, that experience working with one of the best marketing organizations in the world fueled this passion and got me to where I am now.
They've done incredible from a COVID perspective too, when you look at the NBA and kind of how they've been able to, not only market, but like keep everyone's safe and healthy, which is a big piece of today's work environment too. Clearly, COVID has accelerated digital transformation in every single industry, retail included. And I was watching a video yesterday with executives from both Walmart and Home Depot on a Fortune Most Powerful, and they were talking about just how they've needed to transform. Knowing where you sit, like, have they been asking for things that play into more of these digital strategies during this time frame?
Absolutely. I mean, we've been diversifying across screens for years, but now it's a necessity, right? I mean, we've worked with Walmart on a variety of things. Nickelodeon has exclusive products in Walmart. We have a deep partnership there. We work together in content and commerce across the board. And their launch of Walmart Plus plays exactly into where we are in the world. That was planned ahead of COVID, but has been supercharged by COVID. So we have seen that. Even for the VMAs recently, we worked with Burger King and did a whole QR campaign. And in working with this QR company, they're seeing the QR adoption numbers skyrocket, because if you go to a restaurant now in certain cities, how do you get your menu? You use a QR code on your phone. How are you paying your bills? Again, QR code. So that is that habit is being supercharged by COVID, and many of our clients, you see that in the RFPs and you see it in the work, and also the genuine, desire to make sure the content that we're creating is sensitive to the world that we live in, both culturally, but also from a pandemic standpoint.
What are the most important leadership qualities, in your opinion, for executives today?
I think now and always empathy is hugely important. You need to be there for our teams. We need to show them support, whether that be working mothers and working parents, whether that be diversity and inclusion, whether that be people working through life right now. We have people all over the country. We also have to have the desire to innovate and pivot. Uh, we always want to be doing that. As marketers, we always want to be tapping into the next thing and how can we bring content to a new screen and a new experience where we're seeing a lot of people and momentum and energy and engagement. But now we have to do it.
TikTok deal. Like, what are your thoughts on that?
Many years ago, talking to Instagram, when they had first launched about a program we were doing with a soda client. And they were like, great, we want to do this, but there's only 6 of us here at Instagram. So can you guys do all the heavy lifting and we'll do these pieces on our end and we'll give you the advice on how to use the platform. 6 people were working at Instagram at that point. It was wild to think a year later, they were all probably, very happy with their buyout from Facebook. So that's always been us. Snapchat, we were early days to be a partner in Snapchat. Twitter, we did 77 Twitter Amplify programs the night of the VMAs this year. And we continue to work with them and innovate with them. And now TikTok is the next natural evolution.
13 out of 500 of the Global 500 are actually women, and there are absolutely no women of color on that list. This data is real. This data sucks. Speak to me about these stats.
I think Viacom has always been strong with female leadership. Diversity has always been a priority as long as I've been at the company. But now there is a reinvigorated spirit behind it that is really encouraging me and everyone, and especially our diverse employee pool, which there is not enough of, and we need to do better of, but they are feeling the commitment. We are doing education. Last week was Diversity and Inclusion Week at Viacom with hundreds of panels and hundreds of speakers, but we're putting more rigor behind it. And honestly, I think whether it's our company or another company, we have to attack it top down and bottom up. Bottom up, let's talk about like partnering with the Posse Foundation and how they foster diverse high school students and create posses for them in college. We need to educate them about jobs in the entertainment industry and show them that there's a career path here that they would love to be a part of, and give them the tools at the education level to get there. And from top down, we need to create opportunities, we need to create mentorship, and we need to create jobs. You need to create accountable benchmarks that you're going to hit and numbers that you are going to commit to, and tie that potentially to compensation.
My child is trying to break into my office right now.
I love a good Zoom bomb.
Hi to all the Boss fans out there. Say hi. This is what
There's more people on this card because I didn't know more people.
You know your Zooms well. Pet adoption has been a new passion of mine, where I'm trying to help further the word of people, adopting versus buying. An Instagram feed that I have for him that's gotten quite a following. He's got 120,000 followers now.
Most important skill that leaders need for the future of work.
Empathy, leadership, and passion.
Name your career role model or favorite boss.
David Stern, when I was at the NBA.
One piece of advice for future bosses.
Never forget what it's like when you're starting your career. The long hours, the anxiety, questioning if you're good enough. You always have to remember that person, and that's the person that you're growing and fostering.
Nice. One thing you'll commit to do in 2020 to help pay it forward.
Given the challenges in the job market due to COVID, I am committed to helping people find jobs as if I'm looking for my own job, and to diversify our team at ViacomCBS.
So I'm going to start doing sponsors for Boss. I'm in a Herman Miller chair, not sponsored yet. I'm wearing Zara, not sponsored yet. Who else should I have?
Zoom or Microsoft Teams. I mean, there's competition out there. Google.
Well, thank you for being such an amazing boss of mine. Just one of my all-time favorite people who said yes to doing this, which makes me really happy.
I couldn't say no to you if I wanted to, and I would never say no to you anyway.